The Autistic Radio Open Meeting and Autistic Association Open Meeting is sponsored by Autistic Jules because this is a project worth investing in. And coming back to investment, the first part of the agenda today is our meeting with a representative of Scottish Autism, the big conventional charity locally to us here. Those of us listening to our meetings will realise that last week we were a little bit disappointed in the communication, and we were questioning ourselves on how to go forward when we weren't getting immediate responses from the person at Scottish Autism who's helping us with a grant. And I'm happy to say that that person stepped up, having listened to that, and they met with us on a Sunday when they're not normally being paid as a volunteer in the same way that we volunteer our services. So there was equity in that communication. And that half an hour was very helpful. We do have a small grant that we've already spent on improving the equipment that we all have. And furthermore, Scottish Autism, through this representative, will be promoting Autistic Radio Days between Christmas and New Year. I can't say how much they will promote us, but the way I left that conversation, and you were there, Ray, too, was that they would be doing something helpful to let their quite large database know about us. Is that how you left it, Ray?
Yeah, it poses questions as well. Obviously, we need a bigger conversation, but about awareness of Scottish autism and their presence and how much anyone in the autistic or neurodivergent community and elsewhere are aware of what they may be promoting, and also how we angle that against a greater British presence.
Yeah, we are in Scotland here and we're speaking worldwide, so there is a kind of local element to this. But, you know, there's nothing wrong in that, is there?
It's all an extension of the community.
I think one of the things that impressed me about that conversation, the biggest thing that impressed me about that conversation, was that I had expected that they would want a big payoff, that they would want to be able to say, we're sponsoring you, or, you know, we put the money in, this is why this has happened, we're a charity, blah, blah, blah. And the person said something really rather wise. They recognised that we are quite an odd group of raggle-taggle punks and renegades and revolutionaries and anarchists of all kinds of different hues, a real circus of neurodiversity, and that is our unique selling proposition, our strength, that independence of thought that isn't under the thumb of big charity is something that they recognise that we should try and keep and hold on to as unique. That impressed me.
Yeah, I'd be glad if they got that impression of us, because deep down we're all trying to, you know, affect some change and shake things up a bit and, you know, have tricky conversations and all these things and work with people as well. You know, like we have these meetings with these behavioural therapist type people, but I think it's important for them to see us as not going along with things necessarily, but taking some thought and doing it from our way and our angle.
Yeah, we've heard this kind of stuff before, but I don't know. Do you think it's genuine this time, Ray?
Hard to say. I'm thinking more like if we're some kind of fringe, you know, a fringe can sometimes be a niche. So it's all about empowerment, and very often the tradition is that groups like ourselves will get kind of used to a certain extent. You know, it's like a mutual arrangement, you know, scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And then you become part of the system, like the Edinburgh Fringe is from its original activities. So I'm just thinking more about what is the niche aspect of being who we are and how that plays here. And I think she was responding to that, yeah.
I don't know if I overplayed it, but I think the niche we have is that we are of a certain age generally. I think the youngest of us is in their 30s, and we go up into our 60s. We are this boomer Generation X generation who don't realise that they're autistic. They haven't been very well discovered by the big charities. We're a niche of a kind of lost autistic generation that they have difficulty providing services for, and maybe what they're trying to do is use that aspect of us. I hope that's the case, but we'll see over time.
And that's only a fairly recent cultural wave, the awareness of this age group, this generation.
Yeah, I think also the way you reach our generations, or the generation either side of us, is not the same as you would reach millennials or Gen Z. They would be all social media. Our generation needs something a little bit more traditional, much more leaflets, radio, audio, things they can listen to over a period of time without the interruption of advertisements and things. I think it might be that we have the medium that suits that group.
I think they call that soft focus.
Does anybody want to comment more on this? I see we've got quite a few of us here today. There's nothing enormous there in the text.
I wonder if people agree that we are a more tolerant group. I hate to use that. Compared to the identity issues of the younger generations after us, we are maybe a wee bit more flexible. I'm not sure about that. We can be just as stuck in the mud as anybody else. But and of course there's a rebellious aspect to us. But I think it sometimes crops up that we don't want to take sides in the identity wars. We're a wee bit more open. So I just wonder if people think about that.
Yeah, perhaps we're a bit more, I guess you could say, analogue. The identity thing, I've already got my sort of toe in that anyway. It's too political for me, although it's very personal, because I have people who are affected by that. Yeah, maybe we're pre-internet age, and also we've all grown up with our condition being neurodivergent and not really known about it. We've been thinking in the wild all these years.
Members just come on camera to put a big thumbs up here. I think we're getting a general feeling that we're on the same page. Creating a safe space for the big charities, the organisations that are of concern to autistic people, where we can discuss it with them, is our niche. We're not a protest group in any way. We want to put thoughts forward, but we're trying to do it in a slightly old-fashioned way, long-form conversations, so a safe space for them too. Is there anybody who wants to bring anything up?
I'll just mention that GR's currently running an advent calendar on Facebook.
Oh, good. We should follow that. Get Harry involved with that on the Autistic Radio page.
It's a good feedback medium, and it's not data harvesting, which is traditionally what Facebook was all about with these things. It's like, I'll post 11 things, and then you post 11 things, and then, hey, they win.
Okay, so next week we'll have to talk a little bit more about what we're doing in radio days between Christmas and New Year, and there'll be some emails going around, I think, to organise ourselves with this opportunity that this year it will be advertised by Scottish Autism.
We speak our words, we listen.
We speak our words, we listen.
We speak our words, we listen.
We speak our words, we listen.